How to get confidence that is not based on knowledge? Just say that even if knowledge is not there, no harm will be done. Simple. How did you associate confidence with knowledge? You did that, right? By unnecessarily saying a few things to yourself over and over, again and again. You repeated falseness like a mantra. You repeated lies like a mantra. And it came to a point where you started believing in your own lies. That is the simple story. All that you are carrying in your head, you are not carrying it 15 years back. You acquired it during the journey, and you kept inquiring and kept acquiring, and you kept preserving it, you kept safeguarding it, and with the result that now you feel that it was really something precious. Just as you repeated to yourself that, oh my God, if I do not know, something bad will happen. Repeat to yourself, even if I don't know, whatever will happen will be all right. Whatever will happen will be all right. There is no problem. Are you getting this? You see, when confidence depends on knowledge, essentially you are trying to safeguard yourself against some bad happening in the future. If you are already assured that existence is taking care of you, that you are all right if you win and you are all right if you lose, then there will be no situation in which your inner confidence will be dented. It is the eve of an examination, and you are nervous, you are trembling. Are you really trembling because you have not prepared? No. You are trembling because you are thinking of how many marks you will get, what will be the result, what will be the result of the result. Tell yourself, whatever will happen, I'm okay with that. Once you declare this boldly, honestly, this declaration has a great power. But you have to declare it. You need to have the guts to declare this to yourself. I will not cry. I will not worry. I will not shake in my pants. I will not run around for cover, for security. I will not go and hide somewhere. I will stand up to life. I will stand up to life like a young man, like an intelligent man. Like a living man. Once you make this declaration, just see what happens. Just see. But you have to be honest. You have to declare it, and you have to declare it openly. You cannot play safe on both sides. That, I'm going to try for the win. But suppose I lose, then I'll say, oh no, it's all right. Then it is a case of sour grapes. You know that story, right? I have been trying desperately for something, and when I didn't get that, what did I say? Oh, I never really wanted it. No. It is instead a case where you try for the grapes, and if you do not get them, you say, it's all right. And you say it's all right even if you get them. I'm not saying that you should remain untouched by defeat. I'm saying you should remain untouched by both victory and defeat. If you are trying to play clever, and mind is very cunning, it tries to play clever. If you are trying to play clever by saying, this kind of a declaration is just an insurance against failing. Many people do that. When they fail, they say, oh, I never wanted it. Oh, I didn't even try. Oh, it was useless. Even if I had succeeded, it was no big deal. I'm not talking of that shrewdness. I'm talking of real, bold honesty. I'm running. I do not win the race. I would be found smiling. I'm running. I win the race. I would still be found just smiling. Neither would defeat matter too much to me, nor would victory matter too much to me. If I am victorious, I will not go mad. Have you seen people go mad on victory? Have you seen people do that? You had a hockey match recently between the teams of India and Pakistan. And Pakistani team was victorious. A slender margin. And they went mad. And the Indian public also went mad. Madness was on both sides. One side is mad because it has won, and the other side is mad because it has been defeated. You have to be madness proof. I win, I'm okay, no big deal. I lose, I'm still okay, no big deal. This is that inner confidence that does not depend on knowledge of this and that, thoughts of future. Clear?
Same goes with the inferiority complexion. I am alright.
Same. You see, confidence is usually just a cover for a sense of inferiority. The more inferior you feel, the more you want to feel confident. There are all these grooming courses and classes where you are specially taught how to act and behave confidently, how to impress people with your mannerisms, language, etiquette. Whom would you find enrolled there? If you go to their classes, who would have enrolled there? The people who are suffering from the deepest inferiority complexes. Otherwise, why would somebody want to wear a makeup of confidence? Whosoever is obsessed with makeup is a person who terribly and deeply believes in his or her ugliness. If you did not have such belief in your ugliness, why would you want to wear so much makeup? Are you getting it? The next time you find somebody well made up, this and that and all kinds of things, just tell her, but you are not so ugly. You didn't need to do all this. You are all right. Go and wash your face.
One need to accept as
You cannot accept yourself without accepting the totality of existence. When you are complaining against everything, how can you be all right with yourself? When you are offended and hurt by everything, how can you be all right with yourself? People talk about accepting themselves, but accepting themselves is never in isolation. It has to come with an acceptance of everything, and acceptance does not mean compromise. Acceptance means whatever there is, in middle of all of it, I am okay. There might be disease all around, but in the middle of disease, I am healthy. Disease can never touch my core, my essence. It might even touch my body, but it can never touch my soul. This is that inner confidence. No, you do not need to wear makeup.